Well, one of the biggest stories in Texas football is the move that they have just made for uh, Mark Stoops being the special analyst for Coach Sark and this Texas football team and what they've been able to achieve through that part. And you start to really understand that the analyst position is unlimited. It's an unlimited position. You can have as many analysts as you could possibly want.
Or
And
afford.
or afford. I mean, well, a lot of these analysts, they don't get paid a lot of money. Mark Stoops just got a buyout of $37 million. So Mark's not doing it for the money. He's doing it for the opportunity to be here and to learn and kick it with some other coaches that have been analysts at one point. So when you look at this Texas program and the expectations, I mean, it's kind of special when you think about what they're trying to get accomplished.
Yeah, well, you also want to win a national championship. It never hurts.
Yep.
And a lot of people are pointing the finger to who's there going to be that team that wins the national championship this year.
Right.
And Texas upgraded at wide receiver. They upgraded at linebacker. They upgraded on their defensive line and offensive lines. You know, now you have great coaching. You bring in a coach that's been historically great on defense.
Right.
So you bring in an analyst now that is highly regarded in that same space on defense. So, yeah, well, they're making moves.
Well, now let's go to our guy, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Joe, you know, we were talking about the analyst position and the expectations of that position, but this is something that is interesting because you can have unlimited analysts.
Yeah, it's a real interesting addition just because it's a Stoops brother, and I know that puts a lot of may have a lot of Texas fans wondering what's going on, but it's a Stoops brother that's ever worked at Oklahoma, so I don't think you have to worry about that issue at all. It's a Stoops brother. You don't have to pay that much. He's getting paid $37.7 million by the University of Kentucky over the next few years, and it's a Stoops brother who, with his own head coaching experience, probably the second most successful behind Bob. So I think this is a really strong pickup. It's another set of head coaches' eyes. And I think last year when you had Neil Brown, that he provided that. You had that with Gary Patterson. You've had that with Paul Chryst. And it seems like that's something Steve Sarkisian really emphasizes, is having just another set of head coaches' eyes. And now that Texas is in the SEC, he's got a set of head coaches' eyes that's given a lot of teams problems over the years. It's not – you know, the wins and losses are what they are, but you can look at what Kentucky's done, and it's like, wow, these are some difficult games. And, you know, Texas had their own this past year. They made it ugly up there in Lexington. So I think it's a really savvy pickup and one that should help Texas in whatever way Steve Sarkisian wants.
Joe, isn't it a good thing to have guys that gave you a lot of problems on your staff troubleshooting, so you don't have to face them again?
Yeah, that's part of it. I think it's, you know, coaches do this all the time, whether it's formal or informal. It's like, hey, what do you know? What did you have on us? And, you know, maybe Mark Stoops is able to be like, well, when y'all put the tight end here on these downs, we knew you were doing this and stuff like that. And those are the small things that can help. And it's not just, you know, internal looking at your own self. It's looking outside. Like I mentioned, Stoops would be able to give some of these really strong offenses a lot of different fits. Okay, why are you able to do that? Well, what if you're giving him a couple weeks of lead up time to focus on one opponent? Meanwhile, you know, everybody else is working on their own stuff, and you got a head coach who's, you know, been a head coach for 15 or so years, 20 years, I think, looking over one opponent and one team's tendencies. It's just something that when you have the resources Texas has, you can afford to you know, add these types of guys to your roster, your coaching roster.